Hello everyone, welcome to Plug and Play. Today we are gonna taking a look at the brand new soundpeats air5 Pro Plus, a true wireless earbud that comes packed with flagship level features including Snapdragon SoundX, aptX LDAC, adaptive ANC, and perhaps the most interesting feature of all, a hybrid driver setup featuring in XMAM's tweeter. So with the package, it comes with IM itself, a cute sticker package, a little USB Type-C for your charging, and a bunch of air tips for different air size. The air tips are made out of silicone and they're pretty soft and comfortable in nature. So on paper, these things sounds incredibly impressive, but specification don't always tell you the whole story. So after spending a good amount of time using it for music, movies, gaming, phone calls, and everyday commuting, I'm ready to share my honest opinion about this TWS. Is this one of the best TWS option around the $130 price point? Let's find out. So let's start with the design. I actually like what Soundpeats has done here. The earbuds have a clean glossy black finish with subtle gold accent that makes them look much more premium than their price would suggest. The charging case is compact, lightweight, and easy to carry around. The hinge. Here is the hinge. The hinge feels very solid and overall build quality is very excellent. The only complaint I have is that the glossy finish picks up fingerprints very quickly. It is not a huge issue, but you will probably end up wiping it quite often if you like keeping your gears clean. So let's talk about the comfort here. Comfort is definitely one of the best strengths of these earbuds, cause each earbuds weighing around 5 grams. So after a few minutes, you almost forgot you are wearing an TWS or is something on your ear. You will probably not notice they're that lightweight. I used them during work, while walking outside, watching movies, and during several long listening sessions without any kind of discomfort issue. The supplied air tips creates a good seal, which also helps improving the bass response and passive isolation. Here, take a closer look of the TWS itself. The ventilation and the charging pins is in the bottom, as you can see. It goes through your TWS case, and inside there you will see the charging pin. So it connects here downside. So keep that portion clean for any kind of charging issue. So however, I probably wouldn't choose them specifically for intense kind of workout session. However, I probably wouldn't choose them specifically for intense kind of workout session because the feet isn't quite as locked in as in some spur focused earbuds. Features. Let's talk about the features here. This is honestly one of the strongest area of the Air5 Pro Plus. You will get Bluetooth 5.4, Snapdragon sound, LDAC, aptX, adaptive, aptX lossless multi-point connection, LE audio, 55 decibel of adaptive ANC, transparency mode, gaming mode, IPX5 water resistance, and a companion app with firmware update and a fully customizable 9-band EQ. That is a very impressive feature list for the asking price. So how was the app experience? To me, the soundpeats app is surprisingly very good. Everything is easy to find. You can customize the touch, controls, switch, ANC mode, enable LDAC, update firmware, run a fit test, and mostly importantly, adjust the sound using the built-in equalizer. I also appreciate that the equalizer actually makes meaningful changes to the sound instead of just making tiny adjustment. The only downside is that you will need to create an account before accessing some of the app's feature. Personally, I would have preferred using the app without any kind of registration. And remember one thing, when switching between LDAC and LE audio, the TWS restart itself, and the restarting time period is very quickly, but you have to sacrifice a microsecond of time for doing this. So how was the ANC performance here? The ANC performance genuinely impressed me. Low frequency noises like bus engine, air conditioner, and traffic are reduced very effectively. Is this Sony or Bose level? Not quite. But considering the price difference, I think Soundpeats has done a fantastic job here. Transparency mode is also useful for quick conversation without removing the earbuds. Call quality deserves special praises as well. The microphones isolate your voice very, very clearly. Even in noisy outdoor environments, people had no trouble hearing me clearly. If you take lots of calls, I think you will be very happy with this. Now, let's move on the most important part, the sound. This is actually where my opinion changed the most. When I first listened to the Air 5 Pro Plus, I thought, okay, this sounds pretty good. Nothing really stood out as exceptional. But after spending a few minutes with the equalizer, everything changed. And that is probably the biggest thing you need to know before buying this. So, how was the tonality? Out of the box, the Air 5 Pro Plus has a mild U-shaped sound signature. There's plenty of sub bass, slightly relaxed mids here, and the treble is kinda energetic. It is enjoyable, but it doesn't fully showcase what these drivers are capable of. Applying a few small equalizer adjustment, the overall balance becomes much more natural. Vocals come forward, imaging improves, the presentation feels more cohesive. It honestly feels like you are unlocking the earbuds' full potential. I like the equalizer on hi-fi mode most. So let's talk about the sound section part here. The bass one. Bass performance is excellent. Instead of boosting mid bass until everything becomes muddy, sound beats focus more on the sub bass. You will get a deep sub bass extension, satisfying rumble, and plenty of impact without sacrificing any kind of clarity. I wouldn't say this is like sub bass focused, but yeah, the sub bass is there, but it is kind of airy sub bass, not on uh, more physical or more bodied. The sub bass is there, but it will feel very light. Electronics music sounds fantastic here. Hip hop has plenty of punch. Even cinematic soundtracks benefit from the extra depth. But remember, the TWS will sound very, very airy. More importantly, bass stays controlled even at higher volumes. That is something I always appreciated because you will get some sort of clarity on mids and treble. If your bass doesn't get boomy, okay, if your bass get boomier, then you will get uh, max, you will get like your mids and treble shaded kind of region, or I will say kind of a veil. You will get a veil if your bass is too muddy. So let's talk about the mid range here. The mid-range is pretty clean and surprisingly sounding natural. Male vocals have decent body. Female vocals remain smooth without becoming shouty or kind of picky. However, I do think vocal sits a little further back than I personally prefer using the stock tuning. Again, a small equalizer adjustment solves most of that. Once adjusted, vocals become more engaging without affecting the rest of the frequency here. So again, I'm telling you that SoundPeats Air 5 Pro Plus is very, very airy sounding on bass, on mids, on treble. So because of the airiness, the treble is most favorite part of the Air 5 Pro Plus. The X-Memes Twitter gives the upper frequencies a very clean and effortless presentation. There's plenty of sparkle, good air, nice extension, and surprisingly, very, very little fatigue. Unless you are cranking your volume up and hearing some kind of metal or guitar instrumental tracks. The Air 5 Pro Plus doesn't really do that. Instead, details appear naturally without sounding sharp or piercing. But you might get a little kind of piercing feeling if you listen a too much high volume and listening some sort of high frequency tracks like guitar, like uh, some sharp tuning playing on the background. So it might get that picky. But to be honest, the treble region is very, very controlled, I would say, and it it lies between the high sparkle and low sparkle borderline. I would say it is mild sparkle to my hearing, but for a TWS, it is quite good. And to be honest, I would suggest them over any kind of budget IM if you don't like the wire and the stops. So, what about the details? On details, some earbuds create fake details by simply boosting the treble. But Air 5 doesn't do that. Instead, details appear naturally without sounding sharp or piercing. So, what is the technical performance here? Technically, this is one of the best TWS earbuds I have ever used around at this price point. Sound stage is wide and spacious. Instrument separation is very respectable. Layering is above average. Imaging is accurate, although not quite holographic. But for the asking price, the stage imaging and the presentation, I would say it is 4.5 out of 5. For technical aspect, it is 4.5 out of 5. Because in this price range, the TWS uh, tends to like relax tuning, but SoundPeats doesn't do that in here. It is like aggressive, but not quite aggressive to get piercing sound. So, in my opinion, it is very good if you seeking detail. The detail retrieval is also impressive here. No, it won't replace a similarly priced wired IM. Remember that, but it is very good if you comparing any kind of like $60 or $70 IM. But as a wireless solution, it performs far better than I expected. Even it has LDAC, it has quite good specification if you're running any kind of modern smartphone. So, who is this for? Who should actually buy this? Buy the Air 5 Pro Plus. If you want excellent ANC, great microphone quality, high resolution Bluetooth codecs. Again, high resolution Bluetooth codecs, comfortable fit, strong overall technical performance, and you willing to spend 5 minutes adjusting the EQ, I think you will really enjoy this. And if you are someone who never touches EQ, expect perfection straight out of the box, you might find the default tuning slightly underwhelming. So, in short, what are the pros here? The pros here is excellent. You will get excellent ANC, premium build quality, comfortable fit, fantastic codec support, very good microphone, performance. Wide sound stage, clean treble, strong sub bass, great companion app, reliable Bluetooth connectivity. So, if I talk about the cons, what would be the cons here? The default tuning doesn't fully exploit the hardware full potential. The glossy case is prone to fingerprints. Touch controls can occasionally be too responsive. Battery life is kind of good, but not that kind of class leading. App registration feels unnecessary, to be honest. So, my final verdict would be, after spending several weeks with the soundpeats air5 Pro Plus, I came away genuinely impressed. This isn't a product that perfect straight out of the box, but it is a product with a lot of hidden potential. Once properly tuned, it delivers an enjoyable, spacious, and surprisingly refined listening experience that competes well within its price range. Combine that with excellent ANC, reliable connectivity, strong call quality, and a feature rich companion app, and you end up with one of the most complete true wireless package I have tried in this segment. If you are shopping around $130 mark, the Air 5 Pro Plus absolutely deserves a place on your shortlist. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more audio reviews, and let me know in the comment section what you would like me to review next. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.